Hey everybody, it's Natalie McKenzie with The Whole Woman, and it's 6 o'clock here on the East Coast, which means it's Quaran-Tea time. Grab your tea, hit that share button, invite a friend, and get ready for today's special guest, none other than TV producer, Food Network star, five-time Image Award recipient, Sita Lewis of Mama Sita. Make some noise.
Woo, 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 woo.
Hey,
Cheers.
Sita. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Natalie. I am so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you. I don't know if you saw my post today, but I said it's all about the diva. Woo-hoo. It's all about you. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Well, Sita Lewis. Girl, I read your bio. Then I looked at your clips and all this TV production stuff, and I thought, me? I'm going to interview her. Oh God, somebody has a bad sense of humor. So I'm gonna do my best
Ever.
to make you look really, really good. Tell us about Sita. Who are you? Who is the person behind all this magic you've managed to create?
Okay, so to ease a little of your tension and nervousness, I am one of the most down to earth people that you will ever meet. That's number one. Okay. I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, the smallest state in the country. I went to college in Washington, D.C., and I remained in Washington, D.C. for about 17 years, became a television producer at BET. They gave me my first start. And then I went on to produce and do other things. And
Wait,
it
wait, wait.
completely,
Hold on. Who gets out of college and goes right into being a TV producer? And I hate to interrupt you, but what went into the making of this person? Who are you before you go to college? I mean, we know you're Butch Lewis's daughter, so tell us about growing up as
okay.
an Icon's daughter.
Absolutely. Well, I was growing up, the only girl of six kids in the household. So it was me and five boys and my dad and mom. And when I was 12 years old, my mom passed away, unfortunately. So I was told to take the reins in the kitchen and help do dinner every night for my family. And that's kind of where my culinary skills kind of stepped up. But, growing up in a household with all boys, not only my culinary skills stepped up, but I was able to learn how to push and fight for what I wanted because I had to make noise and make myself known in the household. And there you have it. I was obviously being prepared for such a time as this.
You get fresh out of Georgetown University. You go off to become a TV producer. What was your major? Were you a journalism major?
Believe it or not, teenagers that are in college, they never really know what they want to do. I was happy to have gotten accepted at Georgetown University. So whatever department was taking me, that's where I was going. I ended up in the School of Language and Linguistics, and I was a linguistics major with a Spanish minor. And no, I'm not Spanish. I'm African American, but I needed to get into the school and, do something that I thought I liked. I took Spanish in high school and Italian in high school. So I thought, oh, I'll just pick this major. This should be, doable. And then as I was in college, I realized, what am I going to do? So when I came out of school, the first thing I did was start working for a little local, I took this part out, but a little local TV network called WFTY Channel 50 in DC. And I was like a production assistant. If they told me to go to the store, that's what I did. If they told me to sit and fill in for the receptionist, that's what I did. And believe it or not, every opportunity turns into a new opportunity. I was sitting at the front desk, filling in for the receptionist, and I was reading Broadcast Magazine that had come in the mail in somebody else's mailbox. So what I ended up doing was I was reading the classifieds in the back, and I said, BET Teen Summit producer. There's no way I'm going to be qualified for this. But what happens? Lo and behold, God had another plan. I went to BET. I was interviewed by Lisa Johnson Smith, who turned out to be my best friend. Once I got the job, she interviewed me. And a matter of fact, to this day, she'll say, I knew you didn't know what you were talking about in that interview. But I liked your energy. I think I was 21 years old, fresh out of college. She said, I liked your energy. I liked your whole vibe. And right after the interview, I said, okay, it fell on a Wednesday. I said, I'm heading to Bible study now. So it was nice to meet you. And she said, wait a minute. You're a Christian? And she happened to be a Christian too. So maybe that's why she gave me the job. I don't know. But I ended up at BET for 14 years. So
Wow.
and that's where, while at BET, I was able to produce shows that allowed me to win NAACP Image Awards like this. This is one of them that I got to take home.
And just so we're clear, you did it not once, not twice, but 5 times.
Yes, we put on shows once a week. They were live, they were engaging. And for the category that the NAACP put us in, we were one of the only shows on cable TV that was producing something positive for young people at the time. They could tune in and it was their platform to express themselves.
Wow.
So it was like, when I tell people about my experience at BET, I tell them that it was like being at a historically Black college. Everyone working at BET was in their early 20s. They were African American and they were making things happen. And we built that company up to the point that Viacom wanted to buy it for $3.5 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an amazing story. So now let's talk about Food Network. How'd you end up a Food Network star?
So my whole TV career just kind of went along. I produced Teen Summit and Heart and Soul and BET News. BET eventually moved me out to California to produce a show called NYLA with Laz Alonso as the host. And lo and behold, as soon as I moved to LA, I didn't really love it. And I got a call from Ananda Lewis saying that she had just started her own talk show, syndicated TV with King World, and asked me to come to New York City. That's how I ended up in New York City. I produced her show, and then it rolled into producing other shows, America's Got Talent, Love and Hip Hop. I did some casting for. I ended up at the Bethany Frankel show producing some of the food segments on the Bethany Frankel show. And that's what my first segment with Bethany, I was working with Martha Stewart. Like, I was, talk about nervous. I know how you felt. I was shaking, but then I had to ask myself, I'm here, so I'm obviously qualified. And before you know it, I met Big Daddy from Big Daddy's House. He had his own show on the Food Network. And I told him, I said, I love cooking so much. My dream really would be to have my own cooking show because we know I can talk. That's a given. But I wanted to be able to express my culinary skills and mix that with my TV skills. So he encouraged me, on a regular basis. He was calling me saying, Sita, you got this. You can do this. He even gave me a devotional and he said, you read this every day and you take this with you in life. And remember that you can do anything that you want to. So it didn't materialize into anything until much later. My girlfriend, who was helping to run Harlem Children's Zone, Marlene, offered me a position teaching culinary at Harlem Children's Zone to African-American young people from Harlem. And she also wanted me to incorporate that into turning it into a cooking TV show for the students. Now, a lot of people would think that that's a step down, but for me, it turned out to be preparation for what God had for me later. And that's what I say all the time. Never turn your nose up at something that you think might be smaller or not as glamorous. And I got to the school, I was brought in to inspire the students, but in actuality, the students inspired me because we cooked, we taught, we had fun every day. It was like, I don't have any children of my own, but they were calling me Mama Sita. Like all the kids were Mama Sita, and I was like, get to the kitchen and wash your hands. You don't walk into my kitchen without washing your hands. I'm a super germ phobe, so I'm super clean. And so I was teaching them like life skills to go with the culinary skills. We created cookbooks. We created the TV shows. And then I just built a relationship with students that I still have to this day. Some of those students just FaceTime me at 2:00 in the morning. And I'm like, Look, you're not on that level,
There
okay?
you go.
I love you to death, but do not FaceTime me at 2 a.m., okay? So it, I put myself on their level. I said, I don't know. I don't know how you guys are living every day, but I want to encourage you that you can do anything that you want in life. A lot of my students had eczema on their skin that was so bad that, and me being an innovative person, I always used to make my own skincare products because I didn't trust the ones at the store. So
Mm.
I told them, we're not going to create a culinary recipe in this week's lesson. We are going to do a lesson on how to create your own homemade skincare line or skincare product just for you to use, so you can't afford those big brands from the major department stores that are selling you these things, because when you purchase a brand, you're purchasing the packaging, you're purchasing the lawyers and the accountants and
That's right.
everything that's involved. But I'm going to teach you how to make this where you don't have to pay for all of that, those frills. And I brought in the raw ingredients, mango butter, cocoa and shea and coconut oil and things that I knew were healing to the skin, and taught them how to cold press it together with different oils and preserve the nutrients without heating it. And we made 300 jars. They
Wow.
gave them away as Christmas gifts. The ones that had eczema, their eczema cleared up. And
Wow.
I said, oh my gosh. And it wasn't me. It was not me who encouraged me to take this to another level. It was the students. It was my supervisor, Alex. It was my girlfriends who used to use my product. Everybody kept saying, Sita, you cook all the time, but you make this product that we all want. And I said, and yeah, and y'all are killing me because this stuff is not cheap. Okay. And they were like, well, if you make it during Christmas time and stuff, we'll actually buy it from you. That seemed a little cheesy to me. I said, when I set out to do something, I'm either going to do it right or I'm not going to do it at all. So I decided to go ahead and get a trademark. I had to first search a name,
Mm.
go to the trademark department. I did everything myself. I did not hire lawyers. You can actually go online, start your own LLC by going
Mhm.
to your state website. Like for me, it was newjersey.gov, and then research how to start a LLC. And then, once you find out if the name is taken, you then have to search the website and the the Facebook pages and the Instagram. Make sure all of these are available before you
Wow.
start making banners with your name on it, because then you have to go backwards. Once I had everything established, I just, one thing after another, I started building my own website. I started looking for packaging. But the edge that I had over people was that I had a huge network from my television world. So if I put out a macaroni and cheese recipe on my Facebook page, everybody's making the recipe. So I knew if I put a product out, everybody's trying the product.
There you go. That's
And
awesome.
so that's how it works for me. And I've been rolling ever since.
But Sita, Sita, how did you decide that this was it for you, and how do you balance all of this? Because clearly there's something in your background, there's something that was instilled in you that causes you to excel at everything you do. What
Yeah,
is that?
it's a level of excellence that I can't really explain. You almost had to live it and grow up in my household, because I was raised by a very strong Black man. He was in the fight industry, so we know that's a cutthroat, raw industry. I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, Atlantic City, traveling in the Catskill Mountains. Just being exposed to a perfectionist that had expectations of his only daughter to be a perfectionist. I didn't like it at the time when I was growing up. I didn't understand, well, why is it that I have to, every time I get home from school, I have to come to the kitchen and I have to be the sous chef for my stepmother and chop up all. So I'm not getting the credit for making the recipes. I'm the behind the scenes person doing all the labor, you know? And he was trying to teach me that that's the part that counts. When I first got into the TV industry, I wanted to be on the air. I said, I can do this. He said, there's only so many spots on the air. You focus on behind the scenes. And this was back in the 80s. He was telling me,
Wow.
one day there's going to be 500 channels. And I was like, 500 channels? Like right now we only have 15. But my dad was a visionary. You know, he actually was one of the first people to ever put pay-per-view, a boxing on pay-per-view in history. He was the first person to put an advertisement on a canvas ring where companies were making money putting their name on a ring. It was just Everlast. That's all you ever saw. Now it's, you know, you see any kind of brand.
Everybody's there.
But I was constantly, at one point I even worked for my father. He had a record label. He had a production company. He also had the boxing promotion company. So when I started working for him, it was the record label. And he would, if I got to work on time, he said I was late. So his level of excellence was beyond what the human brain could really conceptualize. But what it did was, from the time I popped out of the womb until today, and he's not with me today, but I hear his words being played over and over. Like, say, for instance, we finished working, and I'm down here right now with one of my full-time employees. That's Noah. Hey, we working around the clock at all times. So when we leave at night, there's no mess. I don't care what time it is. Yeah. Mother's Day weekend, Mother's Day week last week, we were inundated with orders. This whole room was covered with orders. And Noah said, okay, well, we're going to finish these tomorrow morning. I said, tomorrow morning? No. People need their product for Mother's Day, and it's all going in the mail tomorrow. I don't care if we have to stay up all night. That's what you do.
Now, Sita, Mama Sita, Miracle Butter, body cream, everything we think of this suggests female. Your intern is a guy. Tell us about Noah. How'd you find him? How did Noah end up with you?
Wonderful. And he's no longer an intern. Let's clear that up. He is a full-time employee. He used to be an intern a year ago. In 2019, he was an intern. His mother and I were producer colleagues back in the day at BET. She is now the producer of Great Day Washington. And she had me on the show doing a morning segment for my products. And when I was leaving, she walked me to my car and she said, well, girl, you know, I have a son that's all grown up now and he needs to be doing something. And I said, say no more. I'll take you up on this offer. Send them to me. I thought, you know, people say that. Noah was coming to a concert in New York and he said, hey, listen, Sita, can I come over and give it a try? I said, you can come over, but you're not spending the night because I don't even know you like that. You remember this, right, Noah? I said, but I want to see if I can figure out your work ethic within you know, a full day, and then you can go back to the hotel where you at. And so I picked him up from the hotel. I brought him here. We worked all day, and I said, this guy, he's got it. He's got it. Of course, he would need to be trained, because I don't allow anybody. I mean, what he's doing right now, he's touching my product. That is my actual baby right there.
Show us around, Sita. We'd love to take a look at your lab. This is the first time we're actually able to do something like this. Show us around and tell us about the process, the product, how you make it. Well, without the secret sauce.
So I take all of my secret ingredients. Actually, all my ingredients are, you know, right on the product, right on the website. There's no real secrets. It's really in how it's processed and how it's put out. Right now, I have liquid oils. As you can see, all of these oils represent different products. So I don't just put the same oils in every product. So there's like 8 different oils in every container, right?
Wow.
And then when I go to make the product, I cold press it in a cold press machine. As this is, let me make sure I'm pointing down at the machine. Whoa, okay. Let me hold this up, right? So this is my cold press machine, and I put it in there. It's like a washing machine. This process grinds it down with no heat. So you're getting a product that never touches any heat. The nutritional value stays very high because it's all cold pressed together. And the final product is this. Let me see if I can give you a little sample of me putting the product on my skin. Ooh. Because that's what people love. It's a solid butter but it's not one of those butters where it's not going to melt instantly. It melts instantly. It gives you this beautiful glow, but within 20 seconds, your skin absorbs it and it's gone. And that's you, it's all natural. So
Yeah.
your skin is absorbing something that's good for you, you know, and that's what you want.
You know, Sita, I have to tell you, because since we've been quarantined, there's no one else but, my husband and I at home. And so all duties belong to me: the cooking, the cleaning, the dishwasher, everything. Listen, your buttercream has saved me. I swear my hands would be like sandpaper if I didn't have that. It's part of my daily luxuriating. And at nighttime, the foot cream, I'm having a party.
Oh, the foot cream is amazing. It's
Oh,
filled with peppermint oil. So you're getting that nice tingling, fresh peppermint scent on your feet. And I have some gel socks that
ooh.
are on their way here that are coming out within the next couple of weeks. So that's going to go with the pumice stone.
I'm placing my order today. I'll pre-order.
I got you covered. So, and I also have a cooling room
Oh,
back here. This is like a giant refrigerator
wow.
where it stays cool all year round. And my products, when an order comes in, I just come in here and I grab something from the shelf, whatever somebody orders, and then we grab the boxes and everything is organized. And that's the way it has to be. And then we, once everything is put together, we carry it out to the main table, and then we put it together and we check the order twice. It goes through Noah's eyes first, and then it goes through my eyes, and then I do a specialized note that I put in, a handwritten
Yes,
note
a
that I put in
handwritten
every
note.
single order, because it's important to tell people thank you. Thank you for spending your money with me. You could have chosen anybody else or any other product, but you chose mine, and I want to take the time, and I hope I can do that forever.
So, Sita, this is a lab you've created in your home. How
Yes.
have, how are you scaling this? Because I'm hoping after today, everybody watching will definitely be placing an order. And I know you have new products you roll out all the time. Tell us
Yeah.
how you're scale. You're making me want to go upstairs and get my cream too. Which come on now.
It's so
Like,
good.
ooh.
So right now, and I am promoting as much as I possibly can through word of mouth. And it's not even an effort that I have to put into it. The product is shipped out, people love it, and almost every person that purchases it posts about it. I always say on my card, if you love the product. Now, of course, if you don't, that's okay too. But if you love it, I just want you to take the time to share it. Eventually, I'm trying to decide if I want to go to retail, because I have a product that's so precious. You can't just put it in any store. You can't put it in a Macy's. You can't put it in a high-end department store, even, because their warehouse might not be to the point where it can sustain a natural butter that could potentially
Oh,
melt. Now I have a liquid oil that's beautiful. It's got 10 luxury oils in it. I can actually get to the point where I put that oil in the marketplace and have that oil drive sales to me online directly. Because I don't want to have a retail situation where I have a bunch of buybacks and people
right.
brought the product back because of its instability. Um,
What's all that in front of you? What are you sitting in front of now? What are you working on?
whoa, okay. So right in front of me, I have some of my products that I carry. I carry the signature Miracle Buttercream in 3 different sizes. I have the large, I have a medium, and I have a small. So these are 16 ounces, 8 ounces, and 4 ounces. I also sell, for people who don't know what scent they like, I sell a 5-pack mini in 2 different two different formulations, where you can pick 5 different scents in each mini pack. Then I have my men's line that's coming out. So I'm literally just kind of like,
Oh,
yeah, it's a men's collection. This is a beard and hair wash. That's going to be for men. It's all natural. It's a
And this is
wonderful
first time.
first time. Yes. And
Just
I
in
worked on
time
this
for Father's
formula
Day.
for about 5 months. I've been working on the men's line. So this is an all natural beard oil. It's got
Ooh.
argan, castor, jojoba, avocado, apricot, and grapeseed oil, all
Ooh.
blended together in the perfect amount so that it doesn't leave your beard greasy. It just gives it like that top shine with no silicone or no ingredients like alcohol or mineral oil or those fillers that really take away from the product. And it's going to have a beard comb with
Ooh.
miracle buttercream carved in the middle. So I already have those ready, but I'm still waiting for another few pieces and getting that whole. It'll be ready by Father's Day. I'll be ready to unveil that by
Okay.
Father's Day.
Sita, listen, I have to say this because, and I can because it's my show, but what I think is very important for our viewers to understand is, yes, you can see her. So the first thing you see when we see Sita is, wow, she's fine, she's beautiful, she's diva-ish, all that wonderful stuff. Yes, we know you're smart. You went to George Washington.
Thank you.
You've had a phenomenal career, all that wonderful stuff that's written on a resume, on your bio, on the website. What people need to know, I'm sorry, Georgetown, what people
Mhm.
need to know is your giving spirit. And we love you because when we asked you to partner with the Whole Woman to help us, to help others, you did not hesitate. And your gift for our swag bag for the holidays was a total, I mean, it was a winner. I got phone calls about that and another product over everything else. They didn't care about the Whole Woman swag bag. They cared about your Miracle Cream butter. And
Wow.
I want people to know that you are a giving soul. You give back, you support others, and you're not just nice to look at, you're nice to know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so important to give in order to receive. That's part of the motto that I live by. My dad was like a leader in my family, and he was one of the only ones that was able to give and take care of so many people. So I used to cook for everybody in the neighborhood. I
Wow.
used to invite people, and my dad would come in and say, "Well, who is this?" "Well, Dad, they were hungry. Well, you're feeding them our ribeye steaks." And I said, "Well, that's what we have in the freezer." And he was like, "Okay, well, you can't feed the whole neighborhood." And I was like, "Well, you do." So he said, "Yeah, but you don't have a job. You're poor." But what was instilled in me was the act of giving. Whatever we give away, that's what we get back. That's what we receive in life.
So we want to give to you. Tell us your website, tell us where we can find you, and tell us how we can all place an order and start to rub and luxuriate like you're doing right now, because I'm oh so
I
jealous.
just can't stop touching myself. You can order my product at www.miraclebuttercream.com. You can find me on Instagram at Miracle Buttercream. You can find me on Facebook at Miracle Buttercream. I try to make it as simple as possible. The product is called Mama Sita's Miracle Buttercream, but another thing about building a website and building a name, keep it simple. So miraclebuttercream.com turned out to be my website. And I have a special going on, 15% off of all of my products. The Mother's Day discount code is still going until Sunday at midnight. It's
Oh,
Mother's Day 15. So anybody that puts in Mother's Day 15 and hits the plus sign at the checkout, it'll automatically take 15% off their entire order. So there you go.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Perfect timing. I am so delighted to have this time with you, and I can't wait for quarantine to be over so we can actually have tea together.
Some real tea together.
Real tea together. And for our ladies and gentlemen out there, ladies, get ready to start shopping for the men. We want to take care of them as well as they took care of us for Mother's Day. It's Miracle Cream, miraclebuttercream.com. Her
Yeah.
handle is the same, Facebook is the same, and in case you didn't know it, she does send you a handwritten note. I have been the recipient of it, and I have to say, I got it and I went, oh, this is so sweet. A giving heart from a giving soul. Thank you so much, Sita, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Before we go today, I want to raise my teacup to a very special person. Vivian Scott Chu is celebrating her birthday today. We're sending you lots of love, lots of
Happy
hugs, lots of
birthday,
hearts.
Vivian.
You all have Vivian to thank for the show, by the way. One day we'll tell the story. So
Oh,
here's to you, Viv. Happy birthday.
thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
And
Sita
thank you,
Lewis of
Natalie. I
Miracle.
really appreciate you all.
Oh,
Mwah.
my pleasure, darling. My pleasure. The whole woman loves you and supports you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Natalie McKenzie, and I am the whole woman. Tomorrow's guest is going to be Hmm. Cornell Thomas, an amazing young man, a bright man. I'm looking forward to sitting and chatting with him. A little testosterone after all this wonderful woman we've had this week. So I'm Natalie. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing time with you today. Go online, shop mamacita.buttercream.com, and we'll see you tomorrow. I wish you enough life to live, enough joy to give, enough love to share. I wish you enough. Good night.